I have never been so disappointed in my entire life, Samantha. You call yourself a mother?
Nancy, what's going on? It's not like you to get so angry at me. Could you please calm down and tell me what I did to upset you?
You know exactly what you did. I didn't think I'd have to explain this to you, but once a child is born, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living as a mother. From that point on, every single moment of your life is and must be centered around caring for your child. That's what mothers do.
I understand all of that, Nancy, and I agree entirely. So I'm really not sure what your issue with me is.
Don't lie to me. You have made it crystal clear with your behavior that you don't care in the slightest about becoming a proper mother.
Nancy, would you please stop berating me for long enough to tell me what I did? You're clearly very angry at me for something, but I have no idea what that something is. I know I'm not perfect, but I feel as though I've been a perfectly decent mother so far.
Decent? If this is your idea of decent, I'd be terrified to find out what qualifies as indecent in your eyes. You have no right to call yourself a mother. My son marrying an awful, neglectful, uncaring harlot like yourself was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Did you just call me a harlot? This has gone on for far too long, Nancy. You need to explain what this is all about right now.
What on earth is your problem? Oh, you think I've given you enough of a tongue lashing, do you? I haven't even begun to tell you everything you ought to be told. You make me sick to my stomach.
Okay, Martin, duty calls. You need to do something about your mother. She has gone absolutely insane. She just texted me out of the blue right now and has been saying some terrible things to me. She's telling me I'm an awful mother and that she regrets you marrying me. She even called me a harlot.
What? She did? I don't understand. She's never spoken like that to you before.
Yeah, I'm almost too shocked and confused to even be angry at her right now. What's her problem? Seriously, I have no idea why she would start laying into me like that, and she refuses to explain herself. She's still lighting up my phone with notifications as we speak.
All right, let's calm down for a minute and take stock of things. Maybe this has something to do with her wanting to meet the baby? I know she's been asking me basically every day when we're gonna come over and visit her. It might just be the stress and anxiousness of wanting to hold her own grandchild. You know how excited she's been about our baby. So I don't know, maybe your frustration reached a boiling point and she's venting at you?
Are you kidding me? What are you saying, that it's my fault she's insulting me for staying with my parents to recover from the birth? She knew this was my plan from the very beginning. It's not like we haven't told her about it. And didn't she do the same thing when she gave birth to her kids? What gives her the right to criticize me like this?
Please, Samantha, I know you're upset, but let's just calm down and think about what the best way to handle this situation is.
I mean, seriously? She's so excited to meet her grandchild that she calls me a harlot and says she wishes I wasn't her daughter-in-law? I might be a little more accepting of her frustrations if she had even sent me a text to congratulate me on the birth or ask me how I'm doing, but nope, she hasn't even spoken to me since the birth.
I'll bet she was just trying to give you your space, you know? She doesn't want you to see her as an overbearing mother-in-law. Not to mention, Mom was never one to do much texting anyway. I bet she really wants to wait until she comes and sees you in person to talk to you about the birth.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's a great explanation. You nailed it, Martin. The reason she's calling me a harlot and a terrible mother is because she's concerned for my well-being.
Come on, give me a break, Samantha. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Look, I'll go and talk to my mom to see what's up, okay? You just relax and leave everything to me. I know you're still exhausted from the birth, so try not to think about my mom too much. It'll only cause you more stress. I gotta get back to work now. I'll talk to you later.
Samantha, when I texted you last week, I thought I couldn't possibly be any more disappointed in you than I was. But congratulations, dear, you've proven me wrong. Perhaps I didn't make my point clear enough. Should I use even stronger language than before until you get the point?
This is not what I needed today.
I'm a mother myself, Samantha, so believe me when I say that I know exactly how difficult pregnancy and labor can be on a woman. I know you'd like to take as much time as you can to relax and recover. When my youngest was born, I left my older children in my husband's care. That's totally normal. It's best for a mother to have as much time as possible to lie down, rest, and bond with her newborn baby. And I have been more than willing to help you out whenever I can. This is my grandchild we're talking about, after all. When I spoke to you last week, I was furious. Now, I can't even bring myself to get angry. I'm simply disappointed, devastated. You have abused our kindness for far too long, Samantha, both mine and my son's.
In what way have I abused your kindness? I haven't asked you to do one single thing for us since the birth, so I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I am furious with you. You insensitive, selfish, mooching little parasite. How dare you say such an idiotic thing to me after leaving your newborn infant in my care every single day? What? Also, you can go out and spend time with your friends? Oh, it's positively scandalous. I should contact the authorities and have you investigated for neglect. If you've got enough energy to go off gallivanting with your friends, then you have enough energy to care for your own child. I have never in my entire life met a mother so lowly, so vile, so cruel as you, Samantha.
Back up, Nancy. I've been leaving my baby with you every day. What are you talking about? I haven't even done that once.
Are you actually going to try and play dumb with me? I won't let you get away with that little charade. I'm the one who's been taking care of your baby all day, not you.
But that doesn't make any sense. I've never taken my baby to your house.
I was trying to be a good mother to my son and a good grandmother to that baby. I was trying to be generous to you, Samantha. But if you're going to use me as a babysitting service for you to go out on the town, then I'm not going to help you anymore. And now you have the gall to pretend like none of that ever happened. Do you take me for some kind of imbecile? Honestly, what was Martin thinking, marrying a low-class woman like yourself? I didn't raise him to be so easily fooled by a lying, lazy woman.
Nancy, stop this barrage of texts for one moment and listen to me. Okay? Okay. I am currently at my parents' house, not out on the town with my friends, and my baby is with me.
What?
I've never taken my baby to meet you, Nancy. I was so thrown off guard by your rant last week, I never really had the chance to say my piece, so let me be very clear. I have absolutely no idea what you are getting so angry at me about.
Wait, you're at your parents' house? And you say your baby is there with you? That's impossible. Your baby is here with me.
No, Nancy, I can assure you my baby is currently sleeping on the couch right next to where I'm sitting. I can take a picture and send it to you if you'd like. I'll even put today's newspaper in the picture. Would that be enough to prove to you that I'm telling the truth?
I don't understand.
My daughter was born 2 weeks ago today. Martin is very busy at work and will be for the foreseeable future, so I'm staying at my parents' house because it's closer to us. I've been wanting to drop by your house to let you meet the baby, but I'm still not fully recovered from labor, so I wanted to rest at home for a while longer.
I'm confused. Martin's been coming by the house every day to drop off your baby with me. And wait, did you say that she was born 2 weeks ago? Wasn't your baby born last month?
Last month? No, she was born exactly 2 weeks ago. Why would you think she was born last month? Martin told me he was going to give you a call himself to tell you the baby was born. Did you maybe misunderstand him, or perhaps he misspoke?
He never gave us a call at all. He simply brought the baby over to the house one morning. He said it was an emergency and he needed me to look after the baby for a while.
Go on.
According to Martin, your labor was much harder than expected, and the doctors told you that you would need to remain on bed rest for as long as possible to recover. Martin's company wouldn't approve his request for maternity leave, though, so he wouldn't be able to stay at home with you. And so, like I said, I've been looking after your baby for most of the last entire month.
I see. Keep going.
I got suspicious, though, because it seemed like your recovery was dragging on for far too long. A few days to a week I could understand, but an entire month? Oh, that's just unheard of. So I confronted Martin to ask him what was really going on. And that's when he told me that you had lied about needing me to recover and were simply spending time with your friends. He said you were fed up with holding back from doing all the things you wanted to do but couldn't while you were pregnant and wanted some time for yourself. So you were making Martin do all the work caring for your baby by himself. Are you saying that isn't true?
Give me just a moment, Nancy. I need to go and have a conversation with my husband. I want to hear what he has to say for himself. Martin? Answer your phone, Martin. Either that or send me a text message, your choice. You are not so busy at work that you can't take 30 seconds to send a text message to me saying when you can talk.
Oh, hey there, Samantha. Sorry I took so long to get back to you. I've been absolutely swamped here at work. Man, am I exhausted from all the work I've been doing.
You can drop the act, Martin. I know you've just been avoiding having to face me. I heard a rather interesting story from your mother yesterday. Apparently, you've been bringing a baby to her house every day and making her take care of it. You told her it was our baby, but you and I both know it isn't. So, tell me, Martin, whose baby is it?
Okay, I know it looks bad, but please, if you'll give me just a second to explain.
I don't want to hear an explanation, Martin. I want the truth. You're going to tell me what the hell is going on right here, right now. Who is the baby you've been leaving with your mother? And why did you tell your mother that I was shoving off our baby onto you, then going out with my friends every day?
Calm down, Samantha, okay? How do you expect me to give you an answer when you keep pushing me like that?
Calm down? Calm down? How do you expect me to calm down now that I know what you've been doing? You've been leaving someone else's child with your mother and telling her it was her grandchild.
Okay, first of all, it is her grandchild. The baby that I've been leaving with her is mine. So I may have maybe bent the truth a little bit on some other stuff, but that much was true.
It's yours? The baby is yours?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about it for a while, but I was afraid of how you'd react. The thing is, I found out that my girlfriend got pregnant and had the baby without telling me. Then come last month, all of a sudden she came over and dumped the baby on my doorstep. She was like, I gave birth to it so you could take care of the rest.
So, let me get this straight. You've been cheating on me, and your mistress got pregnant. Martin? You cheating bastard! How long has this been going on?
Hey, come on, don't get so mad at me. It's not like I was ever serious about her. It was all just for fun. You're still my number one girl, and you always will be.
If I were really your number one, then you wouldn't have gone out of your way to find yourself a number two.
I'm sorry, okay?
And the baby was born almost the same time as ours? I can't believe you passed that kid off as ours, Martin.
I had no choice. My mom was the only person who I could get to look after it. I keep trying to get a hold of my girlfriend, but she never answers my calls or texts. And it's not like I could tell my mom the truth, could I? She'd be furious with me.
And so instead you decided to lie to her and make her think I was the irresponsible one? I am so mad at you right now, I think I'm gonna puke. You are not just comically evil, you are also freakishly stupid. Did you think you would get away with this? I was going to come back home eventually, Martin, and once I did, I would have found out about that baby.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to buy time is all. I thought if I could just delay you finding out, I might be able to come up with a plan, and after a lot of thinking, I finally came up with a great idea. How about we raise both of the babies as our own?
Both?
They were born so close to each other we could tell everyone they're twins and no one would suspect a thing. What are people gonna do, ask for a birth certificate to prove they're twins? No, nobody will ever suspect a thing.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever done or said anything so mind-blowingly stupid as that to me before? I mean, the idea that we should just lie to our friends and both children for their entire lives alone is outrageous enough as it is. But how do you plan on explaining things to my parents? I'm at their house right now. They already know that we only have one baby.
Shoot, that's right. I don't know, maybe we could just ask them to keep their mouths shut about it? Worst case scenario, we can give both sets of parents some money in exchange for their silence if need be. But we can think of a long-term solution for them later. In the meantime, all we need to do is make sure we keep our story straight with everyone else.
I cannot believe what I am seeing. You want me to raise your love child? And on top of that, you want me to lie to my friends? And you're even thinking about paying off my parents to hide your infidelity? I would never agree to do any of that. I'm divorcing you.
Divorce?
You can't seriously be surprised by that. Did you expect me to forgive you and continue our lives as usual after finding out you were cheating on me? And even worse, you had a child with her!
Hey, that's not my fault. It's not like I wanted to have a kid with her. She had the kid all by herself. She never even told me she was pregnant.
You do understand how babies are made, right? A woman can't just make a baby appear out of thin air. You were perfectly aware of how things could turn out when you slept with her. I'm done listening to your pathetic excuses, Martin. We're getting divorced, and that's final.
I can't believe you, Samantha. Like, come on, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation over here. You're not making any effort at all to try and salvage our relationship. You can't just up and divorce me like that. And I mean, think about it. If you do divorce me, then you're the one who's gonna regret it.
Oh yeah? What makes you say that?
You're just a housewife. You quit your job just a few months into your pregnancy, right? Ugh, you were so whiny back then, always complaining about feeling sick or having a headache. So if you divorce me, you're gonna be single and unemployed with a baby to support all by yourself. You think you can replace me? Go ahead and try.
I can manage just fine without a lying, cheating husband like you.
We'll see about that. You're gonna be living on the streets within a month. Is that really the kind of life you want your baby to have? Living in a cardboard box and foraging through a dumpster for food scraps? I don't get why you won't just raise my kid together with ours. Everything will work out great. Women love babies, right? You should be thrilled to get to take care of two. So forget all that nonsense about divorcing me, okay? If you don't want to have your daughter grow up in a homeless shelter, that is.
Getting an idiot like you out of her life is the best possible decision Samantha can make for her baby. Now quit blathering on like a moron and give that poor girl a divorce like she wants.
Huh?
Let me tell you something about Samantha. She went through so much pain to carry your baby inside of her for 9 months and finally bring her into the world. And how do you repay her for all of that? By cheating on her and demanding she care for your love child? I didn't raise you to be this much of a nincompoop, Martin. I never want to see your face again.
Hold up, what's going on? This isn't Samantha, is it? Mom, is that you? But that's impossible. This is Samantha's number. Samantha's at her parents' house and she's still recovering from labor, so she couldn't get over to my mom's house by herself.
You know, Martin, there happens to be this wonderful invention called a car. Perhaps you've heard of them. I drove over to Samantha's parents' house, dimwit.
Oh no. Mom, it really is you?
I wanted to see for myself whether Samantha was telling the truth, so I headed out there first thing in the morning. Oh, and don't worry about your other child. She's safe and sound at the hands of my neighbors.
No. This is terrible. Why did you have to go see Samantha?
Why else to see my real grandchild? And am I ever glad I did? She is absolutely adorable.
What's that supposed to mean? Real grandchild? My other kid's your grandchild too, you know. She's my daughter and I'm your son.
Simply carrying your genes means nothing to me. My grandchild is the one who was the product of my son and his wife. I would never accept the child you spawned with some hussy you met in a nightclub as my grandchild.
Mom, how can you say something so cruel?
Oh, you think I'm being cruel, do you? What about what you did to Samantha, Martin? I'd say that's 10 times more cruel than anything I've said or done. How could you sleep with another woman when you have Samantha at home? And how could you lie to your own mother about having a child out of wedlock? And to top it all off, you tried to threaten her into staying with you? Every single aspect of your behavior today has been utterly despicable.
But, Mom,
Where did I go wrong, Martin? How did you become such a vile, lowly man?
Would you stop acting like I'm the only one at fault here? Sure, I cheated. That was wrong. I can admit that. But I didn't think she was gonna get pregnant. She hid that from me, too. I'm the victim here.
The only victim in all of this is Samantha, and you're going to divorce her immediately. You have no right to call yourself either her husband or your daughter's father.
I can't get divorced. I won't get divorced. You can't make me.
Oh, can't I? Well then, I might just have to have you return the money I gave you to celebrate the baby's birth. All $30,000 of it. Give it back immediately.
What?
You told me that you were going to tell Samantha about my gift and tell her I was wishing her a safe and speedy recovery.
But when I asked Samantha about that, she said you never did either of those things. Would you mind explaining to me why that is, Martin?
I guess I forgot to tell her.
My goodness, you have a convenient memory. If that's the case, then my next question is this. What did you do with that money, Martin? I gave you that gift under the false pretense that the child you were bringing to my house was yours and Samantha's. It was also meant to be used on yours and Samantha's child. However, since Samantha had no idea about the money, that tells me you have broken both of my conditions. Since the two of you are going to get divorced now, then I would like you to return that gift to me. Right now.
Okay, well, returning the whole amount right away is gonna be pretty difficult. You see, I kinda spent some of it.
Oh, and how much is some of it?
A lot of it.
A lot of it?
Most of it.
Most of it?
All of it! I'm sorry, I spent it all already. I bought a new phone. I thought since you gave me so much, I'd be okay using a little on myself. But then my girlfriend started threatening me, and so I had to give her all the rest.
What?
That woman is awful. She just drops this kid on my doorstep and tells me to take care of it. And then she demands $20,000 as a push present. She said if I didn't pay, she'd bring the baby to my office and tell all my coworkers about my affair. So I went and got the envelope you gave me and handed it over to her right away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. None of that is any of my problem, though. You're still going to return every last cent to me. If you don't, then I'm disowning you and you'll never speak to me again.
Mom, no, you can't do that. I'm your only son, Mom. You can't disown me.
I have no interest in leaving any of my estate to a backstabbing man like you. I'll change my will and leave everything to Samantha and her daughter.
Mom, please.
If you would like to avoid that fate, then I suggest you give Samantha a divorce as quickly as possible. Make your choice, Martin. Divorce Samantha, or lose your parents and your money.
I'll call my lawyer to draw up the divorce papers right away, ma'am. I'll have him rush them over as soon as he's done. Hey, Samantha. So, I know we're divorced and all now, but is there any chance we can give our marriage another try?
No.
But Samantha, I'm a total wreck without you. All of a sudden, I'm having to balance both my job and taking care of this kid.
I thought your mom was helping you out with the baby. She told me that she felt terrible for the situation the baby was born into and wanted to do what she could to keep her from turning out like you.
Well, yeah, she's helping me out, but she's being super strict with me. I mean, she took my bank card without my permission and withdrew half of my savings account to give to you. She told me I owed it to you to divide up the assets as quick as possible.
Ah, so Nancy was the one who wired me that money. I thought there was no way you'd be willing to do that.
Plus, she makes me pay her to look after the kid.
Wow, really?
Yeah, $20 an hour. Since she's watching the baby for 6 hours, that makes $120 a day. So I have to pay her like $2,000 a month just to go to work. That's more than half of my salary all going to her.
That sounds like a fair rate to me. She's got tons of experience taking care of kids. If you don't like it, you can always put her in daycare.
I don't have time to find a decent daycare to send her to. I asked my mom to look for one, but she said she'd charge me a finder's fee of $10,000.
Considering the amount of income she'd be losing, I'd say that's fair too.
Don't you get it? She's bleeding me dry. That's why I need to marry you again, so you can look after the baby for free. And cook my meals, do my laundry, clean the house, wife stuff.
My goodness, that is a tempting offer. I get to look after your love child and do all your chores? That sounds great!
Right, I knew we'd see eye to eye. I might have been kind of lazy back when we were married, but I promise, this time I'll be a completely different man. You can quit your job search too, that's gotta be a pain and a half. So, what do you say, Samantha?
Upon careful consideration, I'm going to have to decline. I already found a job, so I don't need anything from you. Like I told you, I'll be fine by myself.
What? You already got a job?
With my resume, it was pretty easy, actually. So, goodbye, Martin. Take good care of the baby. She's counting on you.
Martin tried balancing childcare and work for some time after that, but eventually he realized it wasn't going to work out. He sold his house and moved back in with his parents. However, now his mother is charging him rent on top of her babysitting fee. After his alimony payments to me get subtracted from his paycheck, he's only left with about $300 each month to spend for himself. Despite being divorced, Nancy still comes by pretty regularly to see us. In spite of all that happened, my daughter is still her granddaughter. And Nancy is a wonderful, loving grandmother. She's always bringing all sorts of gifts, clothes, baby food, toys, you name it. I told her she didn't need to spend so much money on me, that just her coming by was enough. But she told me that I don't need to worry about the money, since if she started running low on cash, she could always raise her babysitting fee.
All right, Mom, you're going to put a stop to this right now. What do you think you're doing, spreading such awful rumors about me? You're lying to the whole neighborhood about your own daughter. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've humiliated me. Whatever could you be talking about, Melina? I haven't lied about you to anyone. That's an awful accusation to throw at your mother. What lies are you referring to? You're telling everyone you know that my fiancé is a high school dropout, homeless, and collecting welfare. I just ran into Aunt Shirley downtown, and the first thing she did was ask me if I'm sure I want to marry a man like that. She spent a full 5 minutes trying to convince me to break up with him thanks to you. Oh, so that's what this is about. What's wrong with telling people the plain and simple truth about your fiancé? After all, the only kind of man dumb enough to marry a high school dropout like you must be equally as stupid as you are.
Excuse me? Did you just call me stupid? And I couldn't help but notice that that was also a cruel dig at my fiancé, too.
Again, was anything I just said wrong? You did drop out of high school, and you know what they say. Like attracts like. It's only natural to assume your fiancé must be equally as uneducated, reckless, and stupid as you are.
What gives you the right to talk about my fiancé like that? You've never even met him. I'll have you know he is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, wonderful man. Not only did he not drop out of high school, he actually went to college, and he got an advanced degree.
Are you serious? Your fiancé went to college?
Why do you think I've been begging you to meet with him and talk to him personally? You don't know anything about him. But whenever I invite you over for dinner, you're always busy with one thing or another. If you're going to talk to people about him, then common courtesy dictates you should at least speak to him first.
I would never even dream of doing such a thing. Why would I go out of my way to meet with your fiancé? I don't feel like associating myself with the dregs of society. Don't forget that I've been against you getting married from the very beginning. Tying the knot before your younger sister, Luna, it's absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, madness even. So no, I won't be meeting with any fiancé of yours when I don't even consent to the marriage in the first place.
I don't get it, Mom. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Why are you so opposed to me getting married? I mean, the simple fact that I'm several years older than Luna makes it far more likely that I get married first, statistically speaking.
Don't play dumb with me. This has nothing to do with age, and you know it. The problem is that you're a high school dropout. Your sister Luna, however, went to a prestigious university and graduated with honors. You're inferior to her in every way imaginable. How could I ever allow you to get married before her?
I am at a loss for words. I genuinely don't know what to say in response to that.
Ever since she was a small child, I always knew that Luna would grow up to be beautiful and intelligent. I'm so proud to be her mother. You, on the other hand, are an ugly high school dropout. I'm ashamed to even be associated with you. And yet you still felt like you had the right to get married before your sister. You don't deserve happiness, Melina. You don't deserve love. Luna deserves everything.
Are you joking right now? You've got some nerve to say that to me. It's not like I wanted to drop out of high school. I had no choice. And you were the one who left me with no other choice, Mom. After Dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school, we did hit some hard financial times. But then you decided that we could only afford to have one of our family members going to school. You made me drop out of high school so I could work to support the family.
What was I supposed to do? Someone had to support the family. Your father died before his career took off. He left us with absolutely nothing.
If that's really the case, then we should have at least talked everything over as a family before deciding how to move forward. But you wouldn't listen to a word I said. You made the decision completely arbitrarily and without talking to either of us. Do you remember what you said to me then? You said that a college degree would be wasted on an ugly girl like me. So you made me drop out of high school to pay for Luna's college education. With limited financial resources, I had no choice but to spend efficiently. With beauty and brains, Luna's sure to find a husband with no trouble at all. A man with class, style, talent, and of course, tons and tons of money. Once Luna marries that wealthy man, then he'll be able to support Luna and me. And I won't have any issues with maintaining a decent lifestyle into my elderly years. I had everything planned out intricately, and it all hinged on Luna going to college instead of you. I see. So you weren't thinking about me or Luna. You were only ever thinking about yourself. You say you're ashamed to be associated with me? Well, that makes two of us. I'm ashamed to call you my mother. Well, to think I worked so hard to raise you all by myself, only for you to speak in such a disrespectful way to me. I hope you're not planning on receiving any sort of wedding gift from me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't plan on me coming to your wedding at all. You can cut the act, Mom. We both know you were never going to give us anything to begin with. Even if you're telling the truth and really are marrying a college graduate, it still wouldn't be worth my time to attend the wedding. Nothing changes the fact that he decided to marry an ugly high school dropout. He must be hideously ugly. He's probably overweight, too. Oh, and unemployed to boot. That's the only sort of man who would choose you to spend their life with. Hey, Ken, got a minute? I need to talk to you about the wedding. Long story short, we're not gonna need to prepare a seat for my mom at the venue.
Oh boy. I guess that means she turned you down then?
I'm sorry, I've told you about this before, but my family is, well, kind of dysfunctional. I was planning to ask that she please come when I talked to her yesterday, but we just ended up having another fight. And toward the end, she said in no uncertain terms that she had no intentions of coming to our wedding. To be really honest, though, I don't really want her to come either.
Man, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I definitely would love for her to come to such an important event, but... Well, what can you do? I know you have a messy history with your mom, and if it's just gonna cause problems, then we don't need to invite her. It's our wedding, isn't it? The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones.
Thank you for being so understanding, Ken.
Oh, but what about your sister? Is she coming? Your issues are just between you and your mom, right?
Oh yeah, me and my sister get along just fine. We used to hang out together all the time whenever Mom wasn't around. Honestly, it seems like life for her isn't all rainbows and unicorns either. Getting love-bombed by my mom on a daily basis is just as troublesome as getting hate-bombed. I'm pretty concerned for her the way things are. When I announced that you proposed, Mom's face turned pale as a ghost, but Luna lit up with excitement. She was so happy for me.
That's great to hear. So does that mean we can plan on her coming?
Well, I haven't told her any details about the wedding yet, just the fact that we're engaged. I've been meaning to talk to her about that sometime in the near future.
Okay. From what you're telling me, it seems like it might be for the best to wait a bit before telling her, though. The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones. That's a really busy time of the year for students at that college.
I guess you're right. We can put it off for a bit longer. Thanks for the advice, Ken. I love you. Talk to you later. Mom, what in the world are you doing? You said you weren't coming. We never even sent you an invitation. But now you just show up out of nowhere and barge your way in? And that's all besides the point. Why are you dressed like that? I felt responsibility as your mother to ensure that this wedding is a total disaster. What do you think of my outfit, dear? It took me forever to put it all on, not to mention finding somewhere they sell scythes. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get your hands on a real scythe these days? You have gone completely insane. And you mean to tell me you went out of your way to come to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper just to ruin my wedding? What is wrong with you?
I told you, Melina, there was no way I was ever going to allow this wedding to go forward. You have no business getting married before Luna. At first I thought it would be enough to refuse to come, but the more I thought about it, I realized that simply my opposition wouldn't be enough to get you to cancel this monstrosity of a wedding. I knew that I had to forever bury your hopes and dreams of getting married. That's why I decided to come dressed as the Grim Reaper.
I don't believe this. How could you be so opposed to me getting married, Mom? I'm your daughter. Don't you want to see your daughter find happiness?
I would love nothing more than for my superior daughter to find happiness. You, however, are an inferior product. I could never allow a failure such as yourself to be happy. The thought of such an ugly, uneducated person walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, grinning from ear to ear, it just makes me sick. Why should you be so happy when the more deserving people are miserable? Have you no shame?
That's my line. Are you listening to yourself?
You should live a life more fitting of someone of your stature, poor, cold, and alone. And yet you have the gall to throw such an elaborate wedding. Luna should be getting married today, not you. You don't deserve any of this, and as God is my witness, I will do everything in my power to take it all away from you.
I can't do this anymore. You've always preferred Luna over me ever since we were kids. You never cared about me. You never loved me at all. If that's how you feel about me, why can't you just leave me alone? It's no business of yours who I marry, when I marry them, and what kind of wedding I have. Stay out of my life.
It's not that I don't care. If I didn't care, then you wouldn't make me so furious as you do. You're the spitting image of your father, that useless excuse for a man. How could he go and leave me alone like this? He forced me to take on the entire burden of supporting this family by myself. And every time I look at you, I'm reminded of him and what he did to me.
Mom.
That's why it pains me so much to see you happy. That's why I have to stop this wedding. Getting married is the happiest moment in anyone's life. I remember how I felt on my wedding day. Do you see now? Do you understand why I must do what I'm doing now?
So, that's why you're doing this? That's why you've been so awful to me all these years? I always thought you were just playing favorites because Luna's prettier than I am. I'm not deluded about my looks. I'm well aware that most people would say that Luna is the prettier sister. I freely admit that she's prettier than I am. But that wasn't it, was it? It was really all because I looked like Dad. Mom, I understand you've gone through some hard times. But that's no reason for you to use me as some kind of punching bag. I don't exist for you to vent your frustrations out on. I'm a human being. I'm your daughter.
You're right about one thing. You are indeed my daughter. And as my daughter, you are what I say you are. And I say you're my punching bag.
You're the worst, Mom. You treated me like trash to try and make yourself feel better. And today you came to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper with a real scythe and everything just to try and ruin my chance at happiness. You're such a child, Mom. Why did Dad have to be the one to die?
Shut your mouth, little girl. You can't talk to me like that. You're nothing but an ugly high school dropout. You're a disgrace to both me and your sister. Ruining this day for you has been the most filling thing I've done in years.
I hate to interrupt your self-satisfaction, but aren't you forgetting something important?
What?
You never asked me who my fiancé was. I told Luna about him, and she's met him in person before. So I figured she would have said something to you about him. But from the sounds of things, you really don't know anything, huh? Come to think of it, I'll bet she intentionally left you in the dark.
What's going on with you, Melina? You think your husband's identity would mean anything to me? I don't care one bit about who you're marrying. You claim he went to college, but I bet it was just some community college. No man worthy of my attention would ever marry an ugly high school dropout for a wife.
Well, while I did start out taking classes at a community college, my educational path didn't stop there. I went on to receive a master's degree, and I'm currently a tenure-track professor. But those qualifications aren't enough for you, Mother? My goodness, you have high standards.
What? Who is this?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ken, and today it is my distinguished honor to receive your daughter's hand in holy matrimony. As I just mentioned, I'm currently teaching at a nearby university. I think you may have heard of it, considering it's the university that your other daughter, Luna, is attending.
You're a college professor? And at Luna's school, but that's the most prestigious university in the state.
Well, in all fairness, I was only hired this school year, so I'm new on campus. However, in that short time, I just so happened to have met Luna multiple times. Twice a week, to be precise, she's enrolled in one of my classes. She always sits in the front row and is very attentive. Most of my students are constantly fiddling with their phones during class, but not her.
This can't be happening. You're a college professor and Luna is one of your students? But, if you really have the qualifications that you say you do, then why would you even consider marrying Melina? I shouldn't have to tell you that she's ugly, but are you aware she's a high school dropout? Someone of your caliber shouldn't be wasting your time with an imbecile like her.
Yes, I'm aware of Melina's educational history. I disagree wholeheartedly on your assessment of her appearance and intelligence, however. Frankly, educational attainment is a horrible measure of a person's cognitive capacity. I can't begin to tell you how ungifted some of the people I have to deal with at the university are.
What?
Melina, however, is incredibly gifted, particularly in foreign languages. Did you know she's fluent in Spanish, French, and Mandarin? She makes great use of those skills in her work, too. Honestly, she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known.
But I don't remember her ever studying foreign languages. How could she speak all those languages without even finishing high school?
It seems you're not aware of much of anything at all that Melina has done with her life. She's the international liaison officer for a major trading company. It's her responsibility to translate during international meetings between the company's branches in Los Angeles, Madrid, Paris, and Beijing. Ordinarily, a company would have to hire at least one person per language, but she handles it all by herself.
I had no idea.
It's precisely those language skills that brought us together. You see, there was recently a major development in my field at a university in France. Unfortunately, however, I don't speak French. That's where Melina came in. It wasn't even in a field that she was an expert in, but she translated the entire paper in an afternoon. The way she was so willing and eager to take on a new challenge was completely enrapturing. I fell in love at first sight.
With her?
I invited her out on a date after that. Eventually, we became officially a couple, and just a few months ago, I asked her to be my wife. I've been looking forward to our wedding for so long, and Melina was doubly as excited. And yet, you, Melina's own mother, came out here today on a mission to crush her happiness. Ma'am, I'm not quick to be incensed. I like to think I'm one of the more level-headed people I know, but even I am struggling to rein in my anger right now.
Listen, Professor, I would like to apologize for everything I've said. Oh my goodness, I had no idea a person such as yourself would be interested in someone like Melina. And not only that, you're Luna's professor as well. I'm so ashamed. I'm going to go change into proper attire now. I'll be back in a moment.
Waste your time. We never prepared a place for you today anyway. Leave immediately. You are not welcome here.
What?
Let me make myself crystal clear. If you do not leave the premises within 3 minutes, I will call the police. Also, you should know that our university has a world-class law school. I know many of the world's best lawyers on a first-name basis. I will force you to take responsibility for what you've done here today. That I can promise you.
I'm leaving right now. I'm very sorry for everything. Melina, you owe me an explanation. Why didn't you ever tell me about Ken? I had no idea he was a college professor. I just humiliated myself thanks to you.
Thanks to me? Nah, you did a good enough job of humiliating yourself without any help from me at all. And please, I tried to tell you about Ken so many times. I've been trying to get you to come and meet him for the last several months. But you refused to meet him, and you ignored or denied everything I told you about him.
Hush, you! You could have tried much harder to introduce him to me. Oh, for the love of... I'll have to go and apologize to Ken immediately. I still can't believe he was Luna's professor. Maybe if I butter him up enough, he might give up his silly pursuit of you and marry Luna instead.
I don't believe you. You're still just thinking about using Luna's life as your retirement plan.
Nonsense! I'm doing this for Luna. The fact that I'll benefit is merely a pleasant side effect. A man like him deserves a woman like Luna on his arm. I need to call Luna too, so we can schedule a strategy planning session. She's going to be so happy when she hears I've found a husband for her.
No, I don't think she's going to be so eager to take you up on that. She's already married.
What? Luna is married?
As expected, you are completely oblivious. You've showered her with affection every day of her life, but you never asked her if she had a boyfriend?
Melina, what are you talking about? What do you mean Luna's married? That can't be.
It totally can, actually. She just got married a few weeks ago.
No!
Luna had a big midterm exam a while back, but she was absent that day. Ken was concerned about her since he'd never seen her miss a single class. That made me worried too, so I gave Luna a call and she spilled the beans to me. It turns out that she was pregnant and felt too sick to get out of bed that morning. Furthermore, she was considering dropping out of school completely to get married.
She's pregnant? Oh no.
Yeah, I was surprised at first too. Then I went over to see her, and sure enough, she had grown a bit rounder in her face and waist. At that point, she was about 5 months pregnant.
No, Luna. Oh, my darling, sweet Luna. She was my everything, my hopes and my dreams. And now, oh, my dreams have been crushed to pieces.
She told me that she was sick and tired of everything. All the affection and attention you had heaped on her had become a massive amount of pressure. She did what you asked of her and got into that prestigious university, but she hated every single day of it. It was around that time when she met a nice guy, started dating him, and eventually got pregnant.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this is precisely the response she was afraid of. She was so afraid of what you'd say if she came out and told you the truth, so she hid her pregnancy from you. I was the first person other than her boyfriend that she had even told about being pregnant.
Where is Luna right now? Tell me. Oh, she can't be pregnant as a college student. I won't allow it. I'll also have to go and examine this boyfriend of hers to see if he's up to snuff. If she met him at her university, then there's a good chance he's exactly the kind of man I'm looking for. If he's gotten my precious Luna pregnant, then he's going to have to take responsibility by paying for my living expenses.
Yep, that's exactly what Luna thought you'd say, and that's exactly why she dropped out of college. She's already moved in with the baby's father.
What? She dropped out?
Looks like Luna finally had enough of you, Mom. She said that she was sick and tired of doing what you say. She'd been pushing herself to limit every single day of her life and couldn't handle it anymore. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet, peaceful life with her husband and their baby.
No. So you're telling me the truth then? She really dropped out of college? How could she do that without talking to me first?
Do I really need to answer that question? She had enough of your advice, so she came to me for help instead. I told her what you should have told her years ago, that her life is her own and no one else's. For her part, Luna felt awful about going to college while I was forced to drop out of high school. But honestly, dropping out was the best decision I've ever made. It freed me up to learn about what's really important in life rather than what they shoved down your throat in school. When I told her that, it was all the encouragement she needed to walk straight to the administration office and drop out.
This is terrible. So where is she now? Do you know?
Nope, she didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. She sent me an envelope with a card congratulating me on my wedding, but there was no return address on it.
She can't do this to me. Oh, my sweet, precious Luna. She had everything. Looks, brains, style. I poured everything I had into her. What am I supposed to do now? I'm all alone.
Yeah, your big retirement plan hinged on Luna marrying a rich guy after all. But since Luna's out of the picture now, you'll just have to figure something out for yourself. And with that, I'm taking my leave from this conversation.
Melina, wait. You weren't my first choice, but with Luna gone, Well, beggars can't be choosers. Now you can be my favorite daughter.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry for being so cruel to you up until now. I just had no idea what a bright, intelligent, hard-working woman you were. How about we just forget about all our nasty pain and come together as a family again? I know. How about you and Ken take me out to dinner one of these nights?
Not a chance. You're way, way too late to have this change of heart.
But I'm sincere about this, Melina. I want to make it up to you. We've got a lot of lost time between us as mother and daughter, dear. It's not too late to repair our relationship.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mother. You're dead to me.
Melina, don't say that, please.
You have only yourself to blame for this. You've been the absolute worst mother in the world to me ever since Dad died. Come to think of it, I don't even remember you being kind to me while Dad was still alive. So no, it is most assuredly too late for you to start trying to be my mom again.
I know things have been difficult between us, but time heals all wounds. Let's give it some time, okay? I'm begging you, Melina. Without you, I have nothing left.
That's your problem, not mine. Maybe you should have thought twice before coming to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, that was just a joke. I was trying to be funny.
No one's laughing, Mom. Never contact me again. I won't even come to your funeral when you finally die. My mom tried to contact me a bunch of times after that, but I eventually got sick of it and blocked her number, so that was the end of that. I heard from my relatives and neighbors that she had gone around begging for any information on Luna's whereabouts. But they knew exactly what Mom had been doing to both me and her since our dad died, so none of them were willing to give up any of the little information they had. I don't blame them either. Mom always paraded her around like a new sports car or something. She only ever saw Luna as a designer purse, never as a daughter. Actually, I take that back. She also saw her as a walking, breathing retirement account. While I don't know where she's living, I still keep in touch with my sister. It's so nice to have Mom out of both of our lives now. She used to dominate every conversation, but now she's not even an afterthought. The baby's gonna be born soon, and both she and her husband are more excited than they have ever imagined they would be. I know just what a hardworking, intelligent, and positive girl Luna is, so I know she's gonna be a fantastic mother for that baby. I'm looking forward to having a similar sort of family life here with my husband Ken, too.
Lori, are you there? I just wanted to extend a huge congratulations to you today again. You and my little Thomas looked so amazing today. It really was enough to bring a tear to my eye. Several, actually. But I'm so happy that you two are finally married.
I know, right? It really was just such an amazing wedding. Everything went just as I imagined it. You know, it was actually Thomas and I that came up with the design scheme for the whole thing. So that makes me even more happy that you enjoyed the wedding since I did so much to help plan it.
Wait a second. You mean that you and Thomas came up with that decoration all by yourselves?
Yeah, we wanted to save money where we could, and I already kind of had a vision. We were even the ones who put the decorations up. We tried to do everything that we could by ourselves to save money.
But I'm a little confused. I gave you guys $100,000 to use on the wedding, but you still tried to cut costs down?
Yeah, pretty much. Weddings are expensive.
Right, but you two came to me when you got engaged and cried about how you didn't have any money at all for a wedding. You said you wanted to make it as grand as it could be, and so I offered to give you $100,000. But you're still telling me that that money wasn't enough for the wedding?
Well, I guess things were just a lot more expensive than we originally thought. You know how bad the inflation is. So by the time we got everything that we wanted, we were already over budget.
I see, but I guess you did throw a spectacular wedding, I have to say that much. Although, if I'm being honest, it didn't feel like a $100,000 wedding. I mean, the food was kind of bland, and there weren't many options for drinks. No, something isn't right here. I want you to come out and tell me the truth about your wedding right now.
I told you that we used all the money already. Who cares how we spent it? You gave it to us to help celebrate, and we spent it on ourselves. Isn't that enough? You really can't give someone a gift and then get mad when they use it however they want.
Are you kidding me? It wasn't a gift for you two to spend on whatever you wanted.
Are you seriously doing this to me right now on my own wedding day? I can't believe that you are seriously trying to ruin my day right now. Here I thought we were going to be able to get along, but you're just being a jerk. You really need to watch your mouth and think about how you talk to me now that I'm married to your son.
Excuse me? You can't be serious. Are you really mad at me for asking a few questions about what you spent all that money on? I mean, I gave you that money for your wedding. I really don't think that you get to be mad at me for being a little surprised to find out that you didn't use it for that is all.
Just shut up already, you annoying old hag. If you're going to keep bugging me about this, then I just won't ever talk to you. I already hate having to communicate with you as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to enjoy my honeymoon.
So you're really just going to run away from this? I don't believe you, Lori.
Hey there, Jenny. Did you finally get over yourself yesterday?
Are you really greeting me like this after what you said to me yesterday? I thought I wasn't going to be hearing from you for a while.
Well, I got a good night's sleep, and now I'm recharged and ready to deal with you. Actually, the thing is that there is something that I wanted to talk to you about. Do you have the time to chat?
I have a really bad feeling of whatever it is that you're going to say next. So if you wouldn't mind just cutting straight to the point, that would be great.
Right, well, the thing is that Thomas and I are going to be moving into your house. So would you mind moving out of there by this weekend, please?
Hold on a second. You and my son are going to be moving into my house and you want me to move?
Well, duh, we're married, so the next thing we have to do is find a place to live and then get a new car, too. Thomas and I talked and we agreed that since things are a little tight right now, we could just take your house instead of worrying about finding a new one.
You're just going to take my house? I don't even know how to respond to that. And this is supposed to be different from the two of you just coming to live with me?
Live with you? No. I do not want to be sharing a home with you one bit. The only people who are going to be living there are going to be Thomas and I, got it? We don't need or want you there, so go ahead and pack your bags and leave.
So you're really being serious about this then? You're being ridiculous.
Well, I know that your husband died a long time ago, so it's not like you can really say that you need all that space yourself, right? I'm sure that house is way too big for just you.
It is true that I have a lot of rooms that I'm not using, but since that's the case, I don't see why you both can't just come and live with me.
Because I already told you that I don't want to live with you, and I'm sure that you don't want to live with me. We just won't get along, so if we're both in the same house, then one of us will have to go. And since you were probably going to leave the house to Thomas in your will anyways, you can just do us a favor and give it to us now.
And just who said that Thomas was going to get the house? I never ever said anything like that to him.
Well, sure, but he's your eldest child. Who else would get the house? His sister Maggie moved out too, so you don't have anyone else to give the house to anyways. I don't really see what the problem is if we ask to live there a bit earlier.
You two can really only think of yourselves, can't you? You really think you can just kick me out of my house like this? Have you even thought of where I might be able to go if I were to up and move out of here for you two?
No, not really. I haven't given that any thought at all. I don't really care where some old bag of bones like you goes, to be perfectly honest. Maybe you could go and rent some tiny little apartment or something.
And if I go and do that, are you two going to be paying my rent on the place? That's the least you could do if you're getting a whole house out of this.
You really think that we're going to do anything to help you out? No, that is not going to happen. You should still have some money that your husband left you when he died. Why don't you just use that? Oh, go and live with Maggie or something like that.
So you're just going to kick me out of my own home, and you don't care at all what happens to me next? Why should I move out and give you the house then? This whole conversation is just ridiculous.
You have to move out, though. We've already decided we're moving in, and we've canceled the lease to our place. We've already started packing our bags and putting things in boxes, so you have to be out of the house by this weekend.
You really expect me to just go along with this? Have you lost your mind?
You will leave the house. If you don't, then we'll have to take matters into our own hands, and you won't like that. Okay, I guess if you really want to live with us in your house, then you can. But you have to pay us rent.
Excuse me, I am going to have to pay you two rent? You really just don't know when to quit, do you?
Well, if you don't want to pay rent, then you can move out of the house. How about that? You were going to leave it to your son anyways, so just leave. I feel like I'm giving you plenty of options here. It isn't my fault if you're going to be unreasonable and turn them all down. You call those options? Both of those are just terrible, and you didn't consult me about any of this beforehand. Just how much would you be charging me for rent anyways? I was afraid that you would try to take me up on that. But if you want to keep living in your house with Thomas and I, you'll have to pay us $2,000 a month. You're going to charge me that much money just to live in my own house? That's right. If you pay us $2,000 a month, then I'll let you live with us. If you have a problem with that, then you know what your other option is. I would rather not have to live with you at all, if I'm being honest. So then you're going to move out for us? Great! Just make sure you're out of the house by this weekend. Maybe you could go and ask Maggie if you can live with her. Maggie, are you there? I'm really sorry to ask this so suddenly of you, but could I maybe stay with you for a few days? I've been kicked out of my own house. Wait, what? Mom, what do you mean by that? What happened? Well, I got some messages from Lori, and she was telling me that her and Thomas couldn't afford moving into a new place, so she said they were taking over my house. She told me that I was going to give the house to Thomas anyways, so I might as well just do it earlier. And you just handed them the house without a fight? Why would you do that, Mom? Because I have had just about enough of these two. I just didn't want to deal with them anymore, and so I gave them what they wanted. But now I'm working on getting Thomas completely removed from my will. You're going to cut Thomas out of your will? Are you sure about that, Mom? That's right. If Thomas wasn't going to stick up for me and put his crazy wife in her place, then I don't need him. Anyways, I know it's last minute, but could I please stay with you for a while? I really never thought that I would be in this position, and yet here I am. I know that your husband is away on a business trip right now, so if I could just stay with you until he gets back, I would really appreciate it. Mom, of course you can come and stay with us. That's not a problem at all. In fact, I was actually starting to feel a bit lonely without my husband around. I'll talk to him and explain what's happening. Thank you so much. I feel so bad for dropping it on you so suddenly like this, but I still just have so much I have to deal with on my end. Of course. Well, you feel free to come here, settle down, and take care of whatever business you have. And if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. If you're cutting off Thomas for this, then I think that I should too. Are you sure about that? He is your brother, after all. You don't have to do that just because I am. I know, but you know that Thomas and I have never gotten along, really. He would always act so entitled just because he was older. You know, he even bragged to me about how he was going to inherit the house and would always lord it over me. Honestly, I think he and Lori are perfect for each other, and I mean that in the worst way. They've both been awful to me. You mean that Lori has said mean things to you as well? That's right. She came up to me after her wedding and told me that she was going to do everything in her power to make sure I would inherit nothing. She said she was going to make it so that Thomas would get everything. And just who does she think she is to be making these kinds of decisions? Well, I guess she thinks that because she's married to the eldest child in our family that she has some rights to our stuff. I've actually been thinking of cutting those two out of my life for some time now, to be perfectly honest. I see. Well, if we're both on the same page, that is good news at least. Anyways, I'll pack up my things and head over to your place soon. Hey there, Jenny. You know, I had no idea that your house was this musty before coming here. I have no idea how you expect Thomas and I to live comfortably in a place like this. Are you really complaining about the house that you just stole from me? You two said you couldn't even afford your own place, and you have the nerve to complain about my house? Don't start getting so upset just because we kicked you out. I already told you, you were going to give up this house anyway, so what's the point in getting mad? But I suppose Thomas and I have our work cut out for us in terms of renovating this place. So anyways, if you could go ahead and send us around $100,000 so that we can start that process, that'd be great. What? You really think that I'm going to give you another $100,000 after what you did to me? You really must be delusional. But this house is so old, it just won't do it all. Besides, your eldest child is living here. Don't you want him to be comfortable with his wife and future kids? Hurry up and cough up the money. I don't even know what to say to that. You really have gone crazy if you think that you can order me around like this. I want to hear less complaining and more money going into my bank account. Got it? If you do that, we'll let you come over and see what we've done to the place afterwards, okay? I seriously have no words for you. Well, how about, yes, Lori? There's 2 words that you could say to settle this whole thing. You were never going to give this house to Maggie or anyone else. It was always going to be ours anyway. The least you could do is help us make it into our dream home. And you think that I should just happily go along and give you all the money you want? Well, if you don't give me the money, then you can kiss ever seeing your son or me again goodbye. You'll have no one to count on but Maggie, do you understand? So if you want some insurance for your old age, you'll pay up what we're asking. I actually don't think I will. In fact, I don't even want to see either of you. So you aren't going to get a single cent from me. Wait, what? What is this? What are you getting at? I mean that I wouldn't give you the money anyways because it's a rental and you'd be an idiot to try and renovate the place. Wait, what? What do you mean this is rental? Are you serious? That's right, but I guess you two didn't even think to check about that. You just went along with this idiotic plan of yours. Anyways, I wipe my hands of both of you. Good luck with everything. Oh, wait, just hold on for a second. What do you mean a rental? We're in a house. Have you just been renting this place? I thought that this was your family home or something like that, but you've actually just been renting it? Well, it is our family home, but I was renting it from Maggie. I had already given her the house, you see, and I was paying rent to her to let me live there. Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that you'd already given the house away? But Thomas and I knew nothing about that at all. Well, I gave the 2 of you $100,000 for your wedding, right? That was basically Thomas's entire inheritance. I also wanted to make sure that Maggie got something of equal value, so I gave her the house. Oh, wait, the money for the wedding was Thomas's inheritance? Well, Maggie had actually been wanting to move to a new place with her husband, but then he was sent on that long business trip. She had been so busy that she couldn't even think about trying to find a new home. I told her that she could have my home, and when her husband came back, she could sell the house and use it for her new one. No, you've got to be kidding me. That can't be right. But you were right about the house being too big for me. I was going to move into a smaller apartment, but Maggie said it was fine if I lived with her until her husband returned. Although she told me that since there were new tenants in her home, that she was going to start charging rent more seriously. You'll both owe her $1,500 a month. Wait, what? You mean that she was charging you even less than that? But she can't charge us for rent. We're her brother and sister-in-law. I'm afraid that Maggie doesn't see how that changes anything. But why? I don't understand. I heard from Maggie about all the horrible things that you told her. Did you really think that she was just going to let you live there for free after that? But $1,500 a month is way too much for this place. I mean, the average market rate for houses around here is only $800 a month. Well, I suppose it might be a bit above market rate, but she does own the house, so she has the right to make the rules. If you have a problem with it, take it up with her. You can't do this to us. It isn't fair. You have to do something. You're the mom. You can put a stop to all of this. You two really do just care about yourselves, don't you? You're more than happy to insult the people you should be getting along with until you need help. I don't have time for this nonsense. What do you mean? It isn't nonsense. This is our lives that we're talking about here. I see. Well, if you don't like it, you can always just move out, you know. It's that or pay rent every month. The choice is yours.
Mom, how could you do this to us? Why aren't you doing more to help us? I mean, I thought I was supposed to get this house. You already gave it to Maggie, and you're really going to let her charge us rent? That's absurd!
I'm sorry, but weren't you two asking me to pay $2,000 a month to live there? You're getting a discount from where I'm standing.
But, I mean, that was just for you. We just charged you so that you would choose to move out instead.
Okay, now repeat what you just sent me one more time to yourself, and I think you'll understand what's going on. But honestly, I am ashamed of you, Thomas. How could you do something like this to your own mother?
But the house was going to be mine anyways, and we really needed a place to stay. You aren't really going to cut us off, are you?
I'm afraid that I've made up my mind and I don't want anything to do with you or Lori ever again. I gave you plenty of money for your wedding, and not only did you lie to me about how you spent it, but you had the gall to ask me for more after kicking me out. I really don't care at all what happens to the two of you from here on out. You both are on your own.
Please, Mom! Things weren't supposed to happen like this. What about when you're old and you need to call on me for help?
You think that I would ever want to call on you for help when I get old? I have more than enough saved up to afford a decent nursing service. I don't need you. In fact, I never ever want to hear from you again. Do you understand me?
Are you happy now? Thomas and I decided that we can't afford to live in that house any longer. But since this was all your fault, the least you can do is give us money to find a new place.
There you go again, trying to make demands of me.
Well, I am still your daughter-in-law, and you really did us dirty. You need to compensate us for all that you've put us through.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Please, it would be different if Thomas had a good job, but he just quit his last one and he hasn't had any luck finding work. We really are on a tight budget and we need your money.
So my idiot son quit his job for some reason and you think that's my problem? I'm sorry, but you two are on your own.
You can't be serious about that. We're begging you here.
Well, then you are wasting your breath because you are not going to be getting a cent from me. I've already made that very clear. Now, if you don't have anything else to say, I think that this conversation between us is over. Have a nice life. In the end, I heard that Thomas and Lori had to move into a tiny apartment and are doing their best to pinch every penny they have. It was only later that I learned they spent about half the money I gave them for the wedding on slot machines, if you can believe it. They actually spent so much money that they went into debt. Thomas tried reaching out to Maggie to beg her to tell him where I was living, but she pretended like she had no clue and told him she couldn't get a hold of me either. Thanks to my smart daughter, I can finally enjoy my old age in quiet peace.
I cannot believe this. Making a brand new house for all of us to live in without talking to me? If you go through with finishing that place, we are most definitely not going to move in with you.
Huh?
You really are an airheaded mother-in-law. No matter how many times your daughter-in-law tells you she won't live with you guys, you still manage to go ahead and make a house for everyone. If having that house ready for all of us to move in is your battle plan, then it's not going to make me be defeated.
Maddie, I'm a little concerned by what you might be confused by. This larger house wasn't built with you guys in mind, you know.
Huh?
We've decided to live together with my second oldest son and his wife. And so that's why he had our house remade into a much larger and spacious home. It wasn't that our previous house couldn't be lived in by all of us, but we all decided that we want a house large enough for us to all have a bit of privacy. And so we did our best to build a brand new and amazing house.
What? So, you plan to just overlook your oldest son and his wife and live together with your second oldest instead?
Overlook you guys? I'm pretty sure that you did say that you never wanted to live together with us, right? So I don't understand why you are complaining even more over this choice.
I understand that, but
And to be honest, I don't really want to have you living together with us either. And now that you guys don't have to live here, you both can relax a little knowing you won't have to care for us.
excuse me?
I'm sorry, but you never seemed to really like me. And during the holidays, you and my son never came home to celebrate with us. Yet you both had the courage to ask us to give your kid $1,000 in money for Christmas. I really am sorry, but I cannot see myself ever wanting to live with either of you.
Well, I'm sorry for you, Beth, that you think your oldest son and his wife have to come back to your place for the holidays every year, because we sure don't have to. But you must understand that we have a daughter now who is your grandchild. And as the grandparents, it's your guys' job to spoil her and make her as happy as she can be.
And that's the whole reason we come over there frequently to play with her. We never get to see you guys when the rest of the family is here, so we make up for that by coming your guys' way. But you only ever give us about 10 minutes within your house before you both kick us out. So how are we supposed to make her happy if you never let us near her for long enough? Your father-in-law and I are at our limits with the way you two have acted and treated us.
Huh? Why are you starting to get all mouthy towards me? This is one of the reasons why I hate you as my mother-in-law. Ugh, I feel so bad for your second oldest wife, Margaret. The fact that she has to start living with a woman that will bully her every day.
Say whatever pleases you, Maddie. But just be aware that us building this new house is not for you two, so you can both calm down now. Now, goodbye.
Beth, if I begin to live with you, does that mean you are going to start picking on me and making me feel bad? Are you really planning on doing to me what you've done to Maddie?
Huh? I would never do something like that to you, Margaret. And what do you mean I've been picking on Maddie?
Well, she just spoke to me a little bit ago. And that's when she sent me a huge 5-gigabyte file over the phone. And she told me in that file I'd find all I need to believe that you have been bullying her. She then told me to read and look at it all and then rethink coming to live with you guys.
A 5-gigabyte file, huh? She really ended up using that much of her data for no reason then?
I took a quick look at all of it, but I don't really think what all she's saying is true. But yet again, there are things in there that do concern me a bit, so I have to ask. Do you plan on picking on me the way you do with her?
I'm telling you that I have no reason to do that to you. Why would I ever want to pick on you or do anything mean when we finally come this close to living together?
That's what I thought. And when I think of you, all I can think of are really good things. And is it true that Maddie really is that strange of a woman, then? I just wonder because it seems she really has it out for you. Did something happen in the past to make her that upset?
When it comes to that, it's really nothing. I think that she just has a fight to pick with me for just being her mother-in-law.
Huh? So, for no reason, she just hates you?
Well, you've heard on the news and such before that things like this happen all the time between mothers and their daughters-in-law. And I think in her mind she believes that I'll be the same way to her, hence why she's so aggressive towards me. She thinks that all mother-in-laws are out to get her. But I suppose she is the wife to my oldest son. He probably allows all this to happen without ever stopping her from thinking such things.
Wow. And so you think that's the only reason she's that upset with you all the time?
Well, when I asked my son about it, he told me that a lot of her friends have had bad experiences with their mother-in-laws. And so I'm pretty sure that because of their experiences, she expects the same thing from me. I really do want to become close family with her, but no matter what I try and do, she never wants to see me as a friend. At first, she was nice to me and me to her, but then soon after, she began accusing me of bullying her.
Wow. That's all a total waste of being a happy family. I think that you're one of the kindest mother-in-laws a woman could ask for. I guess she really just wants to cause problems, though, huh?
Saying that I'm nice. After having to talk to Maddie, that makes me feel so happy inside. But you don't have to be so kind to me.
But I'm not trying to just make you happy. I was even a bit worried about what it'd be like having in-laws, but because of how kind you've been to me, I don't feel any anxiety when I'm around you at all.
Well, I'll do my best to continue making you feel comfortable in our family. I'm sure that when we start living together, there will be a little stress between us and all.
Well, that's what happens, right? But I ask that you don't worry about us too much while we're there and that you just relax. We'll all work really hard together to make living with one another as fun as possible. That house looks even more beautiful than I was imagining. All of the yard and everything is looking perfect as well. Could that all be because you have Margaret around to help? If she's the kind of girl that loves making the house look beautiful, her and I could become even closer to one another.
Maddie? You're complimenting our yard and house? Does that mean you've come over to see the new house?
I have, and I came all the way here on an airplane. I heard from Trevor that you guys had completed the house just yesterday.
And that's nice and all of you to come from so far to see us, but we haven't even begun to move into there just yet. And just coming over without mentioning anything to us is a bit rude. That place isn't the house we used to all live in, as it's now become the home of my second oldest and us.
No, actually, starting today, we plan to live here as well. And that shouldn't be a problem for you at all, right, Beth?
Excuse me? Does that mean that after all this time you finally want to live with us?
Seriously? This has nothing to do with me wanting to live together with some jerk of a mother-in-law. Starting today, the oldest brother and his wife will live together with his younger brother and wife. Both you and your husband can go ahead and rent a small apartment nearby.
Huh? And why exactly do my husband and I have to be the ones to leave the new house? We built that place specifically for us and my second oldest. What is wrong with you coming here unannounced and telling us to get out of there? I do not like that you're acting this sporadic.
I'm not being sporadic in any way, Beth. I'm just doing exactly as I want. Actually, don't you think my plan is pretty dang smart of me? The older and younger brothers living together under one roof with their wives. Doing it that way would mean that we can all support one another and bundle our earnings together.
What?
I made sure a while back to advise Margaret to rethink living together with her in-laws. But I'm not sure if she understood what I meant and said that she was totally fine living with you. She never wanted to live together with you guys, yet kept it a secret and tried her best to fake the want to.
And that's probably just what you want to believe? Her and I have talked about this at least a dozen times, and each time she's been so happy over the idea of living together.
Well, unfortunately for you, she was just trying to be nice to you since you're her mother-in-law. But she knows well enough that living with us both instead of you guys is far more stress-free and fun. Unlike an old bag, her and I are closer in age, so we won't have to worry about differences in the way we think. And I know that she will be much happier to live like that instead of having to worry about you.
But you still don't know that, right? Now, I've had enough talking, so hurry up and get out of that house. I'm telling you right now that I'm almost past my limit here.
Stop all of that, Bev. Don't be so upset that you'll no longer have a daughter-in-law to bully anymore.
Huh?
That's right. I was going to let you know about this sooner or later, but I still expect you to be the one to pay off the loan on the house for us. Understand that neither us or your second oldest and his wife will pay a dime for the place.
Excuse me? Not only are you saying that you'll steal that house, but you want me to pay for it all on my own?
But we're being kind by just letting you and your husband live nearby to your sons and their wives, right? And so, a way of saying thanks. You should pay that loan off for us. Now, if anything were to happen to either one of you, you can run over to us to take care of you.
Then let me ask this. If I were to be in trouble, would you guys actually try and help me? My husband and I have gotten a lot older, and so our legs are not as great as they used to be. We already have to go to the hospital at least once a month for checkups and such. Does this mean that you'd be willing to at least stop by once a month to take us in?
Huh? Why the hell would I ever do such meaningless crap? If you have such bothersome crap like that, then you're better off asking Margaret to take care of you. And if she says no to you, ask your second oldest. And if he says no, ask your oldest. And if we are all saying no, ask someone that lives close by to you. And if all of them say no to you, then maybe, just maybe, I'll be willing to come help you out.
So in other words, you won't do jack for us. Why do you keep beating around the bush so much about the truth, Maddie? I don't have any more patience with you, so hurry up and leave our house. I'm not going to give that house we worked so hard on to the both of you.
Why say all those awful things when I've already said that we're living here and that's final? If you think that you can continue to get away with picking on me, then I might just happen to divorce your son. Is that what you want from me?
Huh? You want to divorce him now?
With how far out in the countryside we live right now, me leaving him over this would be an embarrassment to your whole family. Especially after we already agreed that we'd be the ones living here with your second oldest and his wife. But after trying to be so nice about this, you've really hurt me with your words. I might just leave him now. Then that would mean you never even get to meet your granddaughter ever again.
So you think that's the best way to threaten us right now?
You're going to give this house to me and your oldest now, right? If you don't, I'll be divorcing your oh-so-important oldest son.
Right now, we're going to hand in the divorce forms.
Huh?
Thank goodness I was able to talk with Trevor so quickly. While I was talking with you on here, I decided to contact him about this. Apparently, he had no clue that you were trying to do such a thing with our house. He said he'd hurry up and handle everything for me now that he's aware you've gone off the deep end. But before that happens, the divorce forms will be handed in.
Huh? Why the hell would you guys hand that stuff in?
Because we have all had enough of your crap, Maddie. Even Trevor told me that he just can't deal with all your shenanigans anymore. He really told me that he never noticed how crazy you've been until now. He told me that he had already been preparing for the divorce as well.
What's so crazy about someone like me? I was the one that came up with that genius idea to take the house from you and live together here with your second oldest and his wife. If anything, I should be regarded as the intelligent one compared to all of you.
Someone that actually happens to be intelligent would never try to steal someone else's house from them. Just know that you have now gone and disrespected everyone in my family.
I have not disrespected anyone, including you. If anything, I've done my best to put up with you picking on me. Yet now you all act like Trevor and I need to be divorced?
I understand that you don't want to be bullied by your mother-in-law. When I married my husband, I had a lot of problems between his mom and I. But in your case, when you say you've tried your best, you've been wasting all your energy on nothing. Maybe it's time you settle down and realize that.
Huh? And how am I wasting my energy on trying to avoid your bullying? I wanted to make sure that I was far away from you so that I wouldn't have to be picked on anymore. And I'll continue to do that now. So expect to only see your grandbaby every couple of years now. I had done so well trying to let you live close to us and all.
Are you seriously saying that you did so well?
I am. If I let myself continue to be harassed by you, then I will have lost. That's why I'm not going to let a divorce happen after all the effort I've put in staying away from you. I'm betting that your second oldest and Margaret would be happy to live with me and Trevor. I was so generous for thinking a plan up to make sure that they didn't have to live with a daughter-in-law abuser. So why can't you just understand what I've put so much of my intelligence into?
We are not happy at all about whatever plan you made. And actually, what about you is so amazing and smart?
Huh?
It's been a long time, Maddie. This would be Margaret. I have been sitting with Beth looking at all your guys' conversation, and things seem to have gotten pretty wild.
Margaret? So, you've been with Beth this whole time, huh? Well, this is your chance right now. Tell her right now with all your heart that you've never wanted to live together with her. And let her know how much you've been wanting to live with us instead.
I want to live with Beth, though. Actually, if anything, living with you and Trevor would be absolutely impossible for me.
What?
As a wife to this family myself, I can understand the fears you have. But getting this out of hand over something that's never existed is a huge waste of what could have been a happy family with all of us. Which is crazy because Beth is such a nice person to us all.
What are you talking about, Margaret? Didn't you take a look at that file I sent you? That was supposed to help you understand how awful things would be with Beth. You know dang well that living with us would be a way better time than those two. We would be able to support one another equally, and I'd even be happy to help you when you're in need.
Can you explain to me how you'd help me? Please list off to me all the merits we'd have by living with you.
Huh? I shouldn't have to tell you all of that, right? You should already know. For example, when we both have kids of our own, we can leave them together with one of us as the other has some time to themselves. Also, we'd be able to put all our incomes together to afford even nicer things.
In other words, you guys would be asking us to take care of your kid while you both take time to relax. But I'm sorry to say that that would only be a pain in the butt for my husband and I.
Huh?
You have said before to Beth that you both have a nice daughter that you'd want to be raised around the family, but we can tell that you guys do not do a good job raising that kid. When the kid doesn't have their way, they immediately start to get upset and cry. I have been able to meet your kid a few times, but every time we see her, she seems to get worse.
Huh? My little girl has nothing wrong with her. What's wrong with you?
Also, you said that we could all put our incomes together so that we could all afford nicer things, right? But are you actually being serious about that? I don't like it when people tell me they can do things that they obviously cannot do.
What does that mean?
Well, in your case, you're a housewife, right? As for my husband and I, we both work full-time and make a considerable amount of money per year. But in your family, it's only Trevor that works. And I've heard from him before that you guys are already living on a fine line between making it out each month with no debt and having to borrow money.
What was that?
I can expect that Trevor would be willing to work for and help us out in the case we did all live together. But when you don't have a job and barely attend to your own kids' needs, I'm not so sure. I even hear a lot of times from my husband that he asks for advice when dealing with you. I'm sorry, but I just don't see us being able to all fairly put in money to the house when you're not working and Trevor is barely making it by.
You have to be kidding, right?
So, how else could you possibly help us? Actually, it seems that you'd only want to live with us so that you could leech off our money and time. Right now, the two of us don't have kids and we are both working great jobs that we love. You must have just been thinking that by having us around, your life would be a whole lot easier, right? You saw that we would have a whole lot of merits for you, hence you wanting to live with us.
You're wrong, Margaret. Actually, I have been really worried about you. I've never once heard of a wife doing well for themselves after moving in with their in-laws.
I am thankful that you've been so worried about me, but it was all a waste. I have spoken with Beth at least a dozen times about us all living together under one roof. And she was able to give me proof that her and her husband would be able to put in just the same amount as we would into the house. We all saw that there would be more merit to living together, all four of us. And if there was ever any issues, we'd trust one another enough to be able to find a solution. And that's why we all decided to live together. But of course, when you choose to not trust anyone and have nothing to give to anyone, living under one roof with the in-laws would be impossible.
Even after all the work I put in to make sure we could live in that house together? Why are you being so harsh to me?
Listen to yourself.
Huh?
I'm so sorry, Maddie. But you are an absolute piece of stinky trash. Oh, I just remembered that you'll soon be a stranger to all of us. Now, you shouldn't be as surprised by me being harsh to you because you're nothing more than an extremely crazy stranger to this family.
Ugh, I don't even care anymore. If you want to talk to me like that, then go screw yourself. But if you begin to regret what all you've said to me and not choosing to live with us, don't come crying to me about it. Actually, I hope that Beth does harass the hell out of you for this. Hey, why are you all doing this to me? I just talked with Trevor and he really was serious about divorcing me. And what's worse is he's planning on taking my girl from me. Why am I the one that has to end up in trouble?
No matter what you try and say to me, I don't care. And since you're no longer my son's wife, you're just some stranger. Goodbye now, and good luck.
Huh? Well, why are you being so straightforward with this? You're my dang mother-in-law, so hurry up and make up with me and then come help. He told me he's going to make sure he never has to see me again. So you go and tell Trevor that he needs to calm down and come back to me.
My son is very calm right now, and so I think this is him just saying he's over you.
If you go and change his mind right now, I'll make sure the two of us become friends again. I'll even have us all come over to see you during the holidays. So hurry up and do something about this.
You don't have to come see us anymore. I already have my second oldest son and his kind wife living with me, and I can see that from now on we'll be able to enjoy the holidays together every year. And by having you out of her life, I think your daughter will begin to behave a whole lot better. Right now, she may have a bit of a temper, but I'm sure that we still have enough time to raise her right.
Huh? So you're saying everything's fine the way it is right now? You don't see any importance in me as your son's wife?
You're not even his wife anymore, so I'm not sure what you're going on about. Now, goodbye forever. Today we'll be moving more of our stuff into this new house, so we don't have time to talk to you anymore. We were able to move into the new house without any problems and are now all living together as one happy family. And Margaret is a great woman, just as I expected. And so, not to make ourselves be a burden to her, my husband and I have started taking training classes to make sure we stay strong and healthy as long as possible. And with us all caring about one another's needs, things work so perfectly here. And as for Trevor, he ended up renting an apartment nearby to us. And now that he has full rights to his daughter, they both live there together. It seems she's recently become better behaved and now even comes to our house all by herself to play. We've heard that Maddie has been trying her best to meet with her daughter after the divorce, but her daughter keeps telling us she doesn't want to see her. And Trevor is the same way, no longer wanting to meet with Maddie after the divorce.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.